Tell me again what point you think the people throwing smashed up gravestones at British police officers are trying to make.
You are about to watch a moment that shows what happens when confident political talking points meet basic facts. A caller rings into the radio show of James O'Brien to defend Tommy Robinson. The caller arrives convinced he has a strong argument. Within minutes, that certainty begins to collapse under simple questioning. Before we dive into the full story, comment where you're watching from. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.
Start with Aaron, who's in Medway. Aaron, what would you like to say?
Hello there. First time calling, so I'm a little bit nervous. Wish to get my opinion across, really.
Excellent.
It's just the way you're coming across, really, to be fair.
Okay.
Like, you keep saying Tommy Robinson is inciting the violence and everything as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
But if you actually read through all his tweets and everything, he's constantly advocated for no violence, because that undermines everything. He's constantly been saying, everyone stop the violence, because it gives everyone a reason to go against it, kind of.
Why did he choose to lie about a Muslim asylum seeker if he's not trying to incite hatred of Muslim asylum seekers?
Because that was the news at the time.
No, it wasn't.
It was. It was sort of all round everywhere on.
It was on racist social media accounts. It wasn't anywhere else. And I think Nigel Farage may have contributed very deliberately to the confusion. But you chose, did you, to believe it, despite there being no evidence? I didn't. Why would you do that?
At the time, yeah.
Why do you think you did that?
I don't know. It's social media. I agree that there is a big problem with social media everywhere.
And where does Tommy Robinson do most of his work? Where does he do?
It's on X.
What?
It's on X, social media.
So that's where the big problem is.
Yeah. But
you're here to tell me he's not part of it.
Well, he hasn't told everyone to go out and loot shops and riot.
No, but he's told people that 3 little girls were murdered by a Muslim asylum seeker, and lo and behold, people are looting shops and rioting and kicking in the doors of Muslims. You don't think there's any link at all there, Aaron?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I don't think he's right in that, along with a lot of other people that come out with this misinformation.
What do you think then?
What do I think about what exactly?
What do you think about these riots?
I think the violence is completely wrong, It undermines everything they're trying to achieve, or the point they're trying to get
What's the point they're trying to get across?
Yeah, the point we're trying to get, they're trying, we're all trying to get across.
You said we're then, didn't you? Was that just a slip of the tongue?
Yeah, because the mainstream media make people more right-wing, even though it's central.
Right. So what's the point? What's the point they're trying to get across?
Do you think it's right that we're spending £6 million a day to house illegal immigrants in hotels while our elderly are going to freeze this winter?
I think that it's a direct consequence of the Conservative Party's decision to stop processing asylum applications, between 70 to 80% of which will be passed once those applications are processed. And if you go to the Home Office website, you can see how the annual cost has risen from millions to billions as a direct consequence of what they have done, because by creating this crisis, they can whip up the kind of hatreds and prejudices that they thought would help them electorally, but of course they miscalculated on what the Reform UK Limited Party would do. And when you say illegal immigrants, you are wrong, because they can't be here illegally until their application has been processed. And as I've just told you, 70 to 80%.
You haven't even got to look in the news.
70 to 80% of the applications prove to be successful. So tell me again what point you think the people throwing smashed up gravestones at British police officers are trying to make.
Well, they're trying to make the point that, enough is enough.
Sorry, enough what?
Too many illegal immigrants, and we stress illegal.
Right. So why are they kicking in the doors of legal Muslims, people that were born here?
That's what I'm saying. That's completely wrong.
Right.
That is, you've got idiots in any group. Like last night in Birmingham, for example, where you've got Muslims out on the street. You will have wrong people in there that are threatening Sky News presenters. They didn't
threaten Sky News presenters. They swore, and therefore I watched it as well. And I'm a professional broadcaster, and if you don't immediately curtail a broadcast which contains swear words, then you'll get an
Did
Ofcom
you see them
complaint upheld.
slashing
But
tyres
I
as well?
talked at 10 o'clock. Yeah, well, slashing a tyre and attacking a police officer, they're not the same thing, are they? And yet I'd said at 10 o'clock this morning, someone will come on the show today and try to claim that these are somehow equivalent. Let's focus on the point that you think these people are making. They're making the point that there has been too much illegal immigration.
Yeah.
Okay, and you think that watching police officers get attacked, hotels get set on fire and shops get looted will make the mainstream media go, oh gosh, I think there are some people out there who think there's too much illegal immigration. But they don't know what the words illegal immigration actually mean, but they're certain that there's too much of it.
Well, every day we're seeing boats. I mean, I went fishing at Deal the other day, and you can see 3 or 4 boats come over every single day. They're not women and children. They're not fleeing anything. They're fighting middle-aged men.
How do you know they're not fleeing anything?
With my own eyes.
Now, how do you know they're not fleeing anything?
Because they're throwing their passports into the water on their way here to claim illegal asylum.
That's not how it works. That's what they used to do when they were on air. That's what they used to do when they were on aeroplanes. So how do you work out, Aaron, whether they are bona fide asylum seekers or not?
Well, you'd need to go through the proper. At the end of the day, you can't come up on a rubber dinghy.
No, answer the question. Answer the question. How do you find out? Well, talk me through what the legal routes are before you go.
The legal routes are applying properly, isn't it, through visa?
How do you do that?
You can't just rock up on.
Where do you
do
that? Where do you do that?
I honestly don't know because.
But you have to know, Aaron. Do you see why you have to know? Because you're on national radio expressing strong opinions which are built on nothing. Tell me how you apply. Tell me how you apply for asylum in this country.
If I was to turn up on a beach,
just tell me how you do it.
Some other country,
tell me how you do it.
That would be illegal.
Well, how do you think they got to here? They've passed through loads of countries, mate.
Illegally.
Not illegally. They are asylum seekers until their application is processed. So tell me how you apply legally.
I don't know because I'm not an asylum seeker.
But you're so certain that they're bogus. You're so certain that they're fraudulent. You're so certain that they've got loads and loads of other choices. And I ask you what those choices are, and you say...
Well, what are the statistics for the amount of illegal immigrants that have come over here this year?
I've told you that the rough average is between 70 and 80% of applications processed will be found to be valid.
That's too much, you know.
What do you mean that's too much? That's counting. That is saying, are you a genuine refugee? And the answer, after very, very stringent testing now, as a consequence of the political environment that you're part of, the answer comes back, yes, you are a genuine refugee.
Yeah, I don't know. All I'm saying is, you're spreading misinformation.
What misinformation?
The misinformation that everyone that's against illegal immigration is just racist.
Just run me by when I said that.
Earlier, you're constantly just saying,
tell me what I said.
The fascists.
Yeah, the rioters. I'm talking about the rioters and the people that have incited them. I'm against illegal immigration. I think that when people's applications are found to not be valid, they should be removed from the country. So what's the misinformation
so you're
then?
For the Rwanda bill then?
No, those are people whose applications were found to be valid would have been sent to Rwanda or forced to stay in Rwanda.
Where would you recommend we send these illegal immigrants? You're saying you want them out the country. Where are we sending them?
It doesn't matter, does it? You send them back to their country of origin because they will be safe there.
Are we doing that?
Well, we'd like to. But we can't because the backlog of process of applications that haven't been processed as a consequence of conservative policy designed to appease people like the rioters and shall we say their fellow travellers has caused a bottleneck that Keir Starmer now has to sort out. So everything you've told, and just before you go, tell me what I've said that's not true.
Well, saying that Tommy Robinson's inciting violence while these riots.
So why did he lie about a Muslim asylum seeker?
Not the start.
That's how the riots started, Aaron. Based on that racist lie, which he was one of the main architects of. Can I just clarify one thing?
Yep.
You were wrong about what immigration is. You were wrong about what illegal immigration is. You were wrong about incitement. You were wrong about what Tommy Robinson has and hasn't done. You were wrong about the rioters. You were wrong about my position. You were wrong about misinformation. Every single thing you've said in the last 20 minutes has been utterly unevidenced and wrong. But when we bid each other farewell, in my case, and I'm sure in yours politely, you'll still believe every single thing you believed when you rang me, won't you?
because I see it with my own eyes, you know.
Yeah.
Like the two-tier policing.
Yeah.
You know, you can't tell me that doesn't exist and it's a myth. We all see it last night.
Right.
You know, we all see it. There was thousands, hundreds of Muslims and lots of other.
How many hotels
Asians
did they set fire to?
out on the street?
How many hotels
None,
did they
but
set?
they raided pubs.
How many hotels did they set fire to? How many shops
None,
did
but
How many shops did they loot?
They raided pubs and took out white people and
Right, you are. And
racially attacked them.
You saw this on social media,
Yeah.
which you said 15 minutes ago was the biggest problem in spreading lies and misinformation.
Well, it's not a lie if it's there in front of you. You know, it's just
Well,
the media
the
isn't
tweet,
reporting.
like the tweet about the Muslim asylum seeker killing those 3 little girls. It's not a lie because it was there in front of you.
Well, no, because this is a video right there in Birmingham,
Right.
and you can see Sky News was there.
I saw
they
that
had
video.
to retreat.
I saw
you know?
that video. They didn't have
Well,
to retreat.
Did you see the police in that video?
Okay. So no hotels set on fire, no shops looted, no police attacked, but it's two-tier policing because the people who
yeah,
are
but
looting shops, the
normal
people who are
people
setting
attack.
fire to hotels, the people who are throwing bricks at the police, they're getting collared, and the people who aren't doing any of those things aren't getting collared. Therefore, there must be two-tier policing.
Well, did you see it last night? There wasn't any police on that news report.
Well, how can
There
there be
was
two?
hundreds.
How can there be two-tier policing if there aren't any police there, Aaron? Love to the
Because-
family. It's 10:38.
Aaron opens the call with a familiar line, says it is his first time calling and that he feels nervous. It sounds harmless. But within seconds, the weakness in his argument begins to show. He has walked into a discussion with James O'Brien, someone who deals with political claims every day. When O'Brien asks why Tommy Robinson spread the claim that a Muslim asylum seeker murdered 3 girls in Southport, Aaron tries to defend it. His answer is simple. He says that was the news at the time, but that defense falls apart immediately. The claim did not come from verified journalism. It circulated mainly through social media posts on X and similar platforms. In other words, it was an online rumor rather than confirmed reporting. What makes the exchange interesting is O'Brien's method. He does not shout. He does not interrupt aggressively. He asks basic factual questions. One of those questions is devastatingly simple. How do you apply for asylum in the United Kingdom? Aaron cannot answer. That moment exposes the gap between strong opinions and actual knowledge of asylum law. The conversation becomes even more revealing when Aaron slips and says, "The point we're trying to get across." He quickly corrects himself, but the damage is done. O'Brien notices immediately. The caller has accidentally placed himself inside the group he claimed only to be analyzing. Then Aaron introduces another common claim. He says the country spends around £6 million a day housing asylum seekers in hotels while pensioners struggle with heating costs. O'Brien responds with policy context. The high cost largely reflects the backlog in asylum processing. When applications sit unresolved, people remain in temporary accommodation for longer periods. That delay increases the cost. By the end of the call, O'Brien makes a prediction. Aaron will leave the conversation still believing exactly what he believed before calling. And that prediction proves correct. The exchange becomes a clear example of how conspiracy thinking often works. People begin with a fixed conclusion about immigration. They then search for videos or posts online that appear to confirm that belief. Evidence that contradicts the narrative is ignored. When challenged, the argument shifts to a new claim. The focus moves. The goalposts move. And the original claim never truly gets examined.